Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the Friday challenge video where I ask you to look through your long boxes, find some cool books that meet a cover challenge. This week, it's about cosplay. And what cosplay is, people dressing up, like what I associate to Halloween is just people dressing up in costume. So what I'm going to do is like comic characters that are normally dressed in their normal attire, but this is them dressed up as like something else, like kind of Halloween related, I guess. But some of them, these are costumes that people wear traditionally during Halloween, and some of them are not necessarily ones that you would think of, but I'll get into that. So the very first one, I'll show you what I mean by this. So number 10 is Donald Duck. This is Walt Disney Comics and Stories. Volume 1, number 3. I think this is one of the first covers for Donald Duck, actually. And this is Donald Duck as a firefighter. So, normally Donald Duck is not a firefighter. Well, this is him dressed up as a firefighter. So that's kind of the theme. So cosplay or costumed. Okay. I'm going to call it cosplay, but it's not really cosplay. It's like so messed up. Okay. So yeah. So this is Donald Duck as a firefighter. So that's my first one. And the next one is much more like cosplay. This is X-Men. This is actually Amazing Spider-Man probably, but it's the Disney characters as X-Men. They've been doing this with the Spider-Man titles lately, where they've been doing these homage covers using Disney characters on the Spider-Man title. These are the variants, but this one is a cool one. You got Donald Duck as Captain America. You got Goofy as Wolverine, and you got Daisy as Scarlet Witch. I was going to say Scarlett Johansson as a Black Widow. So yeah, so just a kind of a cool cosplay cover. I like the fact that he has forks and spoons and knives as his claws. I think that's fun. Yeah, just a really cool one. I'm not sure what the title is actually. I think it might be a what if. I'm not sure. I think it sometimes it's Spider-Man. I'm not sure. So you guys can look that up and tell me what the actual title was. I only bought it for the cover. Next one is Elvira. And this is Elvira as a witch. Not too much of a stretch on this one, but it is a fun one. She's, kind of doing a little bit of the sexy witch kind of thing going on here. This is Elvira's House of Mystery, I believe number 1. Or number 11. Number 11. And this is actually a Dave Stevens cover. Classic Dave Stevens cover. Just a really great one. I always love when they put the moon in behind the character. It really does spotlight them well. So yeah, just a really great Dave Stevens cover. And this is Elvira House of Mystery, number 11. It's a great one to find. If you can find that, it's a good one to pick up. Okay, next, number 7 on the list is Lois Lane. This is so typical for Lois Lane. So in this one, she's the devil's bride. So she's dressed up like a little devil, and which is so standard for Lois Lane. Her covers are some of the craziest ones, and this is one of the better ones. I really like it. She's all dressed up and she's marrying the devil, which is kind of fun. Very Halloween-esque. When I was a kid, I'd always either dress up as a vampire or devil, because I had like I had these like little horns that I could put on my head, and I had like one of those little pitchforky things. So it was an easy costume. I was pretty lazy about dressing up, so I'm sort of partial to the devil costume and to vampires, because vampires are even easier. You just get the teeth. It's very, very, very chill in terms of my costumes. So yeah, so this is Lois Lane. I forgot what issue number it is. 103. It's a really great Lois Lane cover. Okay, and next on the list is another witch cover. and this is Walt Disney Comics and Stories, and you got Huey, Dewey, and Louie all dressed up as witches. So, and you got Donald Duck bobbing for apples. So a bit of a Halloween cover. So this is Walt Disney Comics and Stories, Volume 9, Number 2 from 1948. It translates to like issue number 98 or something like that. But just a really cool one with Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Okay, now we're number 5 is another witch cover. Lots of witch covers, sorry. It's like a sort of a sub-theme. This one is Lois Lane as a witch. And I always like this cover. Again, you got the moon in behind. I always like that. And I think this is really interesting because this is her first issue. And one of the things that was interesting about it is during the comic code, they actually kind of forbid comics from having like sort of the supernatural or the occult. And witches were kind of part of that. And for this is a coded book, and yet I think it somehow managed to get by. Maybe the people that were doing the Comics Code Authority were being a little bit lenient that day. But yeah, she's dressed up as a witch, and it's just a really great one. I like the way this cover has like all these like lines, and they're all kind of pointing this way, so it really draws the eye up, like up and away kind of thing. And it's just a really great cover. So Lois Lane, number 1. Okay, now I sort of showed the raw ones. I have some slabs that are the last 4, and these are ones that I think are just fun. Not really, like they're Halloween in some ways, but not really Halloween. You'll see what I mean by that. The first one is Donald Duck dressed as a sheriff. Now, another thing that I remember doing when I was really young, I dressed up. I had like one of those plastic gun belts. You know, it was like a gun belt. And one day, one Halloween, I did dress up as a cowboy. So this is Donald Duck as the sheriff. This is 4-color number 199. So I always like this cover. I like the fact that all the bullets are bouncing off his star. So it's just a really cool one. So yeah, so that's 4-color 199. And this next one is Bugs Bunny dressed up as a detective. So this is Bugs Bunny Super Sleuth. So he's dressed up as a detective, which is another great costume, actually. I had friends that would dress up as detectives sometimes for Halloween. And this one is 4-color 200. So it's actually the very next issue. So, wow, got a bit of a run going on there. So, yeah, so Bugs Bunny, Super Sleuth, and this is Dell 4-color 200, I mean. Yeah, it's kind of a cool one from 1948. Wow. Okay, next one is, you know, one of the series that I really like is The Simpsons. And I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. I watch pretty much all of them until the recent episodes. I haven't really watched the recent series, but pretty much maybe the first 20 seasons I've watched. And this is the very first appearance of The Simpsons, but it's also a cosplay cover because Bart is dressed up as Bartman. So he's dressed up as a superhero. You can see. And this is the first appearance of Bartman. It's also the first appearance of The Simpsons, as I said. There's also another cosplay. We got Homer dressed up as Radioactive Man. Yeah, I even have a copy of Radioactive Man somewhere when he did that. So yes, this is Simpsons Comics and Stories number 1. First appearance of The Simpsons in comics. First appearance of Bartman and Radioactive Man. So kind of a fun one. Last one is my favorite female character is Vampirella. So everyone would probably think, oh, Wonder Woman, but actually it's Vampirella. Then it's Wonder Woman would be my second favorite. I'm a big fan of Vampirella. And this cover is one where somebody cosplays as Vampirella. So that's why I picked it. So this is Betty and Veronica. And this is the first appearance of Vampironica, where Veronica is dressed up as Vampirella. And she even has the little earrings and the collar and the red top. I think it's really cool. But it's actually Betty is also cosplaying. She's cosplaying as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So it's a really cute one. And this is Betty and Veronica number 261. Yes, I remember the number. Okay, so just a really cool one. And it's a great cosplay cover. And it's a great Halloween cover too. So just a fun one. So cosplay costume, I'm going to call it hashtag cosplay. But what we're going to do is, if you want to participate, all you have to do is find 10 comics in your collection based on the theme of characters dressing up. And we're going to use the hashtags. When you create the video title, use the hashtag cosplay and the hashtag Friday Comic Challenge. And use that in the title, and then it'll connect using the hashtag thing to all the other people that participate, and it'll be fun. We'll all get to see each other's comics. It'll be a cool thing. The other thing you can do is in your description put a link to my channel, and then what happens, I get a notification and then I'll definitely go out and check everyone's videos that they do when they participate. So definitely put a link to me in the description. That makes it so that I get notifications. Sometimes I end up catching the videos much later, so I kind of like when people do that, because I get the notification. So yeah, so thanks again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope everyone participates. It's a fun thing. It's a little fun thing to do. And happy Halloween. Bye bye.